Hey guys, I'm April from Giggle Glitter Graphics, and today we're crafting a free add-on project for Penelope's Travels Volume 1. This folio documents Penelope's visit to a cute little tea shop. I'll guide you through the assembly step by step as we add pockets, double-sided fussy cuts, and decide what the shopkeeper looks like. This free project went out today to my email list. If you're not on the email list and you'd like to join us, then you can sign up using the link in the description down below and have this project sent to you immediately. If you enjoy these types of projects and want more, then you can head on over to my Etsy shop and pick up the full kit. Penelope travels the world instantly with her magic necklace, and Volume 1 documents some of her favorite shops. These 5 projects each document a different stop during her travels with a variety of flips, flops, and pop-ups. Check out the Penelope's Travels Volume 1 video for more information. So let's get started on our tea shop project. This download has 6 pages of pieces and 1 backer paper. All of these pages are printed on cardstock. I use 110 pound, 199 GSM cardstock. You'll need to print the backer paper on the back side of the page with the folio body on it. That's this piece here. So you're just going to print that backer page on the other side of this page. For supplies, you will need scissors to cut everything out, liquid glue with a fine point, and an optional glue stick. I like Beacon Fabri-Tac for my liquid glue and Uhu for my glue stick, a bone folder, and an optional scoreboard. And I've put vintage photo distress ink on the edges of everything. So let's slide everything off to the side here and start with the folio body. To turn this into a folio, we need to crease this in 2 places. We're going to crease on either side of this little spine here, so right in between the lighter cream paper and then the darker print. And that's going to give you something that looks like this. There we go. Then I'm going to open this up, and it does not matter which way you have this turned. It is identical in both directions. And let's go ahead and grab the panel with the open sign on it, as well as the larger sign piece. I'm going to grab my liquid glue. You can use your glue stick if you like. I just find this a little neater for video making. And I am going to put glue on the back of this, and we're going to center this up on the front panel. You might like to fold back so that the spine is hidden. That way it's a little easier to center this once you place it down. So I'm going to grab my liquid glue and I'm going to go around the edges like so. You might notice my edges are a little wonky. I had a mishap with my cutting machine. And I'm going to center this up as best I can between the top and bottom of this panel, and then just give that a quick smooth. Then I'm going to take the sign, the shop name, Steep to Perfection, and that's going to pop right on top here. So it looks like the open sign is hanging down beneath it, but we get a little bit of lift or texture from having this sign on here, and with the ink around the edges, that makes it pop out a little more. So we're just adding some interest through layers here. And I'm just going to place it so it covers the top of the chains like so. And that is the front of our folio. So now I'm going to fold it up like this and then flip up so that we're looking at the folio inside. We want to make sure that our front cover is on the top. It will be upside down if you have the outside facing up. So let's make sure we have everything turned the right direction before we work on the inside. And there are 2 panels to add to the inside, a darker wood one, which is going to center on the top panel. We're going to skip over the spine area, and then this leafy cream panel will center on the bottom. You might need to rotate these. They're only going to fit in one direction, so make sure you have them the right way. Up and down don't matter as much, so you can choose which way you would like these to go. And I'm going to grab my glue, and same as we did on the front panel, I'm just going to glue these all the way down. Being careful to center this up on the top panel. So here are my creases. I've put a little ink on those so you can see them better. And that's centered on the top portion of the folio, and then I'll do the same with the other one. Glue right around the edge, a little bit in the middle. Make sure I have it the direction I want it. And just pop that into place and give that a little smooth. So now we have our folio body. Next, we're going to grab this description of the shop and this pocket piece. The description of the shop is going to be a little belly band on the top panel. So we're just going to glue the left and right sides, just a little bit of glue on the left and right. So I'm going to use my liquid glue for this and run just a line of glue on each end, the short ends. Then making sure I have this right side up, I'm going to put this about 1/3 of the way up, lining up with the edges of this dark wood panel. Don't worry about the placement exactly, just get it about there. And sliding down to our bottom panel, I'm going to grab this pocket. You can put this either way if you like one way more than the other. I'm going to go this way. And we're just going to glue 3 sides of this, left, right, and bottom. So make sure you're holding what you want to be the top of the pocket. And thin line of glue on that left, right, and bottom. And then we're going to line this up all the way at the bottom of the panel, not the bottom of the folio. Match up the sides, match up the bottom, and just press that into place. And then let's put this off to the side to dry. Next, let's go ahead and grab these 2 tags. These tags just need to be folded in half like so. So 1, 2, both in half, and then we're going to glue them back to back. That way we have a tag that's printed on both sides. Again, your glue stick will work well for this, just to get an even coating of glue. I'm just going to put a quick swirl of that liquid glue on there. This larger tag is complete as is. However, the smaller tag, we're going to add a portrait to. It talks about the shopkeeper, Mrs. Zing. And we're going to go through all of the portraits. I have a bunch of portraits available for you. You can decide what Mrs. Zing looks like. This is something I like to do in my kits. In the full kit, you get to decide what Penelope looks like. You get to decide what all the shopkeepers look like. And it's like that in my other kits as well. So I have actually decided on this one here. And I'm just going to center that portrait up on the tag. So little glue on the back, making sure this is turned so that the text is right side up. And I'm going to put that portrait in place. I'm going to put these to the side and grab all of the little fussy cut tea tins. All of these have a front and a back. We're making double-sided fussy cuts, so you can go through and match up the ones that are the same. They should be together on the sheet, and it should be hopefully pretty clear which ones go with which. And we're just going to match these up and glue them. Now, if you have not done double-sided fussy cuts with me before, then I do have a tutorial on easier ways to cut these out so that they kind of match by cutting on both ends first, matching them up, and then cutting out the rest. You can just cut out as best you can, then clean them up with scissors later. You can say, I'm not fussing with that, and just cut out the fronts and be done. So it is your project. Do what you like with it. I do have a fussy cutting tutorial available on my channel. I will link that in the description down below. So if you'd like to check that out, there is a free file you can download, and then you can go through various levels of fussy cutting with me, from simple to more difficult. So check out the description down below for that. So I'm just going to continue to match these up. We've got the Traveler's Blend. I recommend gluing a little more thoroughly than I am, but for tutorial purposes, I am just going to match these up fairly quickly. And if I have anything sticking out, a little white around the edges, I can put ink around that after my glue is dry. So I'm going to go ahead and glue the last 3. And here is the last one. So let's go ahead and bring our folio back and our tags back, as well as the receipt. The receipt, I'm just going to fold in half. I've buffed some distress ink on the back of this. That's optional. You can do that if you want it to be not quite so white. Just gonna fold that in half like so. And let's tuck our two tags. We've got this picture of the shop. We have our shopkeeper and our receipt. You can layer those however you like in that belly band at the top. And then I'm going to slide to the bottom. Make sure your pocket and all of your tea tins are dry before putting them in. And I'm just going to layer these in so they look interesting to me. There are so many. I probably put too many tea tins in here, but I'm not really sorry. You can't have too many. And there is our completed folio. And you might have noticed there is a leftover label, and that is to go on Penelope's travel trunk. All of the locations came with a label, so you can add this label wherever you like on her travel trunk. And I'm just going to put mine right there with a little bit of glue. If you've already made this project and you're like, I don't really have a place that I like it, you can skip it. You don't have to put it on there if you don't want to, but I'm just gonna squeeze it in. I like the kind of cluttered look of that. So you can just glue the last label right on to Penelope's trunk, like so. So this was a super quick project, but remember that the projects inside of Penelope's Travels have all kinds of complexity in them, flips and flops and pop-ups and things like that. This was just a quick little add-on to add one additional shop. I had wanted to do 6 originally and I ran out of time. So here she is, the 6th shop. And if you've already purchased this kit, thank you so much for your support. This supports my channel. It makes it so I can do this full time as a job instead of as just a hobby. And I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I hope to craft again with you soon. If you'd like to stay up to date on all of my latest projects, then give this channel a like and subscribe. If you enjoyed this project, then be sure to check out my Etsy shop for more projects like this one. Frostbound Forest tells the story from the point of view of a researcher in a magical forest. When snow begins to fall in the late summer months, our main character heads out into the forest to investigate the cause. You get to follow along and see what they find on their snowy woodland adventure. Cursed Antiquities and the Umbral Society are a 2-part investigation series told by Agent Hale of the Bureau of Esoteric Affairs. You assemble the case files and find out what is happening in a 1920s town with a touch of magic. Cursed Antiquities has 14 different projects with tons of storytelling, and the Umbral Society has a little twist with junk journal pages inside of the file folders and our villain's point of view hidden under a secret bottom in the box. Brightwand Academy and Willow of Whispers are a magic school theme. Explore the school in the Brightwand Academy box set. You can check out the classes and decide what the faculty and students look like. Then build a story in Willow of Whispers where we follow 3 friends who are noticing that something strange is happening on the school campus. And finally, explore a flying steampunk marketplace in Gilded Gear Marketplace. This box kit holds folios depicting 3 different shops as well as a cast of characters. Mix and match character backgrounds and portraits and store them in the included cases. Then check out Steam and Satin, a story junk journal kit about the marketplace's tailor shop. A missing shipment of supplies before an important event has Master Tailor Nathaniel Alden looking for answers. I hope today's project added a touch of magic to your life and that you'll craft with me again soon.